If you're a senior on Social Security, or you get an SSI check every month, 5 things about your money are changing before August even gets here. And some of them are going to hit your bank account, whether anybody warned you or not. Most of these, nobody's going to sit you down and explain. One of them looks like good news and quietly isn't. And the 5th one on my list is the sneakiest of all. It's the change that can take an entire monthly check away from someone who did nothing wrong except earn a little extra at work. Stay with me all the way to that 5th one, because if it applies to you, you need to hear it before you make a move you can't take back. Welcome back to Geminin, where we take the government's fine print and turn it into plain English you can actually use to protect your own money. Let me say this up front because it matters. This isn't just for folks scraping by, and it isn't just for people sitting on a comfortable nest egg. Every one of these 5 changes touches the check that lands in your account, whether that's a retirement benefit, an SSI payment, or a disability check. And a quick, honest note, I'm not a lawyer, and I don't work for the Social Security Administration. I'm just the person who reads this stuff so you don't have to. Do me one favor while we go through these. Tell me in the comments which of the 5 you already knew about. I've got a feeling most people are going to be surprised by at least 2 of them. Let's start with the one that sounds like good news, because mostly it is. Every year, Social Security hands out what's called a cost of living adjustment, a raise meant to keep your check level with rising prices. For 2026, that raise was set at 2.8%. A little bigger than last year's 2.5%. So what does that actually put in your pocket? For the average retiree, the monthly check went up by about $56, from around $2,015 a month to roughly $2,071. Now, $56 a month isn't going to change your life, but across a full year, that's close to $700, and it's already built into the check you're getting right now. And your own number depends on the size of your check. On a $1,500 benefit, that 2.8% works out to about $42 more a month. On a $2,500 benefit, it's closer to $70. So find your own check, take 2.8% of it, and that's roughly your raise. Here's the part they don't say out loud though. That raise is the number they announce with a big headline. What gets pulled back out of it before it ever reaches you, that's the part they stay quiet about. And that's change number 4 on my list, so hold that thought. For now, the move is simple. Pull up your deposit and compare it to last year's, and make sure the increase actually showed up. If your check looks exactly the same as before, that's worth a phone call to straighten out. Change number 2 is for the folks on SSI, Supplemental Security Income. That's the needs-based check for people who are 65 or older, or blind, or disabled, and living on very little income. That same 2.8% raise pushed the SSI maximums up too. For 2026, a single person on the full federal benefit can now get up to $994 a month. Last year, that ceiling was $967. For a married couple where both of you qualify, the max climbed to $1,491, up from $1,450. Now, most people don't collect the exact maximum. Your amount depends on your other income, on who lives in your home, and on whether your state chips in a supplement on top. But if your check didn't move up at all this year, that's a red flag worth chasing. The move here: look at your award letter, or log into your account, and confirm the new higher figure is what you're actually being paid. And if you live in a state like California or New York that stacks its own money on top of the federal amount, your total should be higher still. Make sure both pieces are there. And one thing that trips people up: your SSI amount can change during the year, not just in January. If your living situation shifts, or someone starts helping with your rent or your groceries, the amount can be adjusted. So it's worth a glance at that award letter anytime something in your household changes, not just once a year. Number 3 is the one with a clock ticking on it, and it's happening this very month. If you're on SSI, go look at your account in July, because you're getting 2 payments instead of 1. The first came on Wednesday, July 1st. That's your normal July check, nothing strange. The second one lands on Friday, July 31st. 2 deposits, same month. And this is exactly where people get burned. That second check is not a bonus. It's not extra money. It is your August payment, arriving early, because August 1st falls on a Saturday this year, and the government refuses to pay you late for a weekend, so they slide it back to the last business day before it. Which means there is no SSI payment in August at all. None. Your next check after July 31st doesn't come until September 1st. So picture what happens if nobody tells you that. 2 checks hit in July, it feels like a little breathing room, so the second one gets spent. And then August shows up completely empty, with the rent due and the pharmacy bill waiting and nothing behind them. The move here is one sentence. The day that July 31st deposit lands, label it in your head as August money. Set it aside for August's bills and treat the rest of July like a normal month. Do that, and you're a month ahead instead of a month behind. And there's a quieter reason to move that money out of the way. SSI comes with a resource limit. To keep the benefit, a single person is generally supposed to stay under $2,000 in the bank, and a couple under $3,000. In a month where 2 checks land this close together, a little extra can pile up right at the end of July. Spending that second check on August's bills, the way it's meant to be used, keeps your balance where it needs to be too. Quick question while we're here. Drop a yes in the comments if you're on SSI, so I know how many of you this one hits. Now remember that raise from change number 1, the $56? Change number 4 is where a big chunk of it quietly vanishes. For 2026, the standard Medicare Part B premium went up to $202.90 a month. That's the first time in history it has ever crossed $200, and it's up from $185 last year. Here's why that hits so hard. For most seniors, the Part B premium comes straight out of your Social Security check before you ever lay eyes on it. It's deducted automatically, right off the top. So you got a $56 raise with one hand, and roughly 18 of it got pulled right back out with the other, just for Medicare, before a single grocery price or electric bill went up. And this is the thing that genuinely bothers me about it. The raise makes the headlines. The premium hike doesn't. And the senior on a fixed income is left staring at the deposit, wondering why the bigger number on paper somehow feels smaller in real life. The move. When you check your deposit, look at the net, what actually lands in your account, not the gross they announced back in the fall. And if your income is on the modest side, look into something called a Medicare Savings Program. It can pay that Part B premium for you and put that money right back in your pocket. Ask for it by name at your state's assistance office. A lot of people who qualify never sign up simply because no one told them it exists. You apply through your state's Medicaid office, and a free counselor from your local SHIP program, that stands for the State Health Insurance Assistance Program, can walk you through whether you qualify and help you fill out the paperwork, at no cost to you. For a lot of single seniors, the income cutoff is higher than they'd ever guess, so it's worth a look even if you assume you earn too much. And it can cut the other way too. If you're a higher income retiree, you might actually pay more than that $200-$290. There's an extra charge, based on the tax return you filed 2 years ago, that stacks onto your premium. If a one-time jump in income pushed you over a line back then, and your income has since come down, you can ask Social Security to take a fresh look and lower it. And that brings me to change number 5, the one I told you to wait for, because it's the one that catches good, careful people completely off guard. This one is for anyone getting Social Security disability. There's a rule called substantial gainful activity. Think of it as a ceiling on how much you're allowed to earn from working while you're collecting a disability check. Stay under it, you keep your benefit. Go over it, and the government can decide you're no longer disabled enough to qualify and shut your check off entirely. For 2026, that ceiling rose to $1,690 a month, up from $1,620 last year. And this isn't some rare edge case. Think about the person on disability who feels a little stronger one season, takes a small part-time job stocking shelves or driving a few hours a week just to have a little something coming in, and never realizes there's a hard dollar line sitting there, waiting. Now on the surface, a higher limit sounds like nothing but good news. And it is. But here's the trap hiding inside it. A lot of folks don't know the exact number. They pick up a few extra hours or a small part-time job. Their pay creeps just over that line for a month or two, and they have no idea they've put their whole benefit at risk until a letter shows up in the mail. A little more money at work, and the entire check is gone. That's the one that keeps me up at night. So the move is this. If you're on disability and you're working at all, know that number cold. $1,690 a month for 2026, and track what you earn against it every single month. If you're getting anywhere close, talk to Social Security before you cross that line, not after. There are special work rules that can protect your benefit while you test out a job, but they only help if you use them ahead of time. One of them is called a trial work period. It lets you try going back to work for a stretch of months without instantly losing your benefit, so you can find out whether the job actually sticks before your check is ever on the line. But you have to know it exists and set it up the right way. Walking over that earnings line blind, with no plan, is how good people lose a check they can never easily get back. So let's put all 5 in one place before you go. 1. The 2026 raise is 2.8%, about $56 more a month, but watch what comes out of it. 2. SSI maximums are up to $994 for an individual and $1,491 for a couple. 3. SSI pays twice in July and then nothing in August, so set that July 31st check aside the day it lands. 4. Medicare Part B jumped to $200-$290 and comes straight out of your check, so always watch the net, not the headline. And 5. The disability earnings limit is $1,690 a month, and slipping over it can cost you everything, so know your number and track it. None of this is about being lucky. The people who stay ahead of these changes aren't smarter than you, and they aren't richer than you. They're just the ones who found out in time. If this helped you today, do one thing for me. Send it to one person you know who's over 65 or living on a fixed income. This is exactly the kind of thing that slips right past good people until it's too late to fix. And if you want plain English breakdowns like this one every week, subscribe so the next change doesn't catch you off guard. Then tell me down in the comments, which of these 5 surprised you the most? I read every single one. Take good care of yourself, keep a close eye on that check, and I'll see you in the next one.